The Critshow contains elements of horror, fantasy violence, and adult language. Content warnings can be found in the episode description.
Everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Critshow, where we are playing the Clockgrinders. Last time, our heroes laid siege to the headquarters of the Clockgrinders, fucked all of them up real good, and put 3/4 of them almost immediately into their own prison cell. We have a rhino on top of the walls.
Who doesn't know how to get down.
We've got Kade and Maxine working on the repairs / modifications of this movement core, and Einon with the captives, having just let one of them go as a show of good faith to fetch their medic to treat one of their injured. Probably multiple of their injured, but one that she particularly seemed to care about. Let's actually jump back in there, Einon. So you are still down here with 3 of them. You have just let Fern go. Is there anything else you're doing with them?
I think I'm just sitting down next to 7, and the door is still open. I'm closer to it just in case. Just as we wait, I'm looking him over. Looks like your legs are in rough shape. Sorry about that.
He just sort of grunts at you.
Am I to understand you used to be a proper clockwinder?
Yeah.
I have to know. What happened? Was it as simple as finding an opportunity for profit?
No. It's about dedicating my life to an organization that shit itself to death.
Yes, I suppose I understand that. It's easy to become disillusioned with something that puts no stock in its people.
He, kind of turns his head slowly towards you to look at you. What are you doing?
Just trying to learn. Simple as that. You can't hunt or befriend something without understanding it.
We are not going to be friends.
That's fair.
You've already hunted me. So what's your objective?
I'm trying to see a path ahead from here. Once you've caught a dangerous animal, you have to decide what to do with it. I just need you to understand that the reason you're dangerous is because of something that I truly don't believe that you understand. The traps in the clock tower, the profiting off of ether, all of that, frankly, I understand. I don't fault you for it, but the world is turning, and people will die. So that core is under new management. We've got steps in place for dealing with the ether in a new way, but I'm not necessarily at liberty to speak about that with anyone that isn't trying to save people as well. So from here, I need to figure out where we go, where you go.
Well, it'd be a waste of our expertise to kill us.
I assure you, outside of defending myself, there is no intention to murder you.
I don't know what you want me to say, man. I don't want to die. I don't want to go to prison. So what? You want me to say I'll work for the Clockwinders again?
I would love for you to say that. I only got a glance at it, but what you've done with that core is amazing, inspiring, even. I would love to have your insight and expertise on assisting with what we're trying to do, but I am a realistic man, and that realism is aimed more specifically at trying to figure out how to let you walk out from these cells with the surety that you will no longer disturb the cores.
Did you run this siege by any of the higher-ups?
Of the Clockwinders?
No, this city.
Oh, yes.
Who?
I'm not sure I'm at liberty to discuss that.
Was it the Janes?
Are they the ones you answer to?
He shrugs. Loosely, insofar as everybody running something illegal in this city answers to him.
They have been loosely informed of the situation, insofar as anyone being brought in on a situation might be.
And they just kowtowed to the whims of the Clockwinders?
No, not to the whims of the Clockwinders. They are in discussion with others that have stake in this, others that would see a monopoly fall.
You can see him kind of trying to read more details off your face, and just like doing the mental math on what that could mean, who you could be referring to, and how that could affect them. All right, so circling back around, coming back to the Clockwinders. Is that really on the table?
Absolutely. Your work is inspiring. The things that you have been able to accomplish here, mechanically and otherwise, a mind like yours. Look, I don't know the circumstance, why you've become so disillusioned as to make the antithesis of our organization exist, but there are those of us that are trying to bring it back around. I've seen proof of the world ending. I've seen it with my own eyes. Keeping that from happening is truly my only goal. And my friends up there as well. Minds like yours, there aren't many. And hell, the Janes, in their talks, they might decide that they want you to stick around as well. All I know is what was meant to happen here today, and that is to fix that core. And I kind of sigh and maybe keep a measure of what you've been doing here going, for the good of more than just the Clockgrinders.
He narrows his eyes. Who's in charge over at the Dawn Palace nowadays?
How long has it been since you've been there?
He shrugs. Decades?
You may not know her then. Forbin?
He kind of grunts again. And she's all right with you continuing to siphon ether?
She does not know about that plan, but when we show her the proof of its merits, I believe that she'll be perfectly all right with it. She's actually backed us on quite a lot in the past months. She is insightful about change in the way that many that have led that organization have not been.
As he's kind of sizing you up and like weighing your words, Rochelle's been listening, like just, looking back and forth between the two of you, kind of almost frantic, worried about the trajectory of this conversation. And she says, Daddy, come on. You can't seriously be considering this. They fell apart. They can't keep this together. Just because they's doing better now, they're sending people out. So what? They fell apart once, they'll fall apart again. Come on, we got a good thing going here. Let's talk to the Janes. There's been a misunderstanding or something. Come on, we could keep our station.
Listen, Rochelle, was it?
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I appreciate your mindset on this. You're looking out for your family, I think, literally, if I'm observing correctly, and your found family with these other two. That's exactly what I'm doing. Those upstairs. The difference that I need you to understand is, without a bit of change, at least a bit of change, you're putting people in danger. That's why what you're doing is not going to stay the same, and the people of this city are becoming aware of it.
I think you see those words sink in more for Seven than they do for Rochelle, and he chimes in again. Look, you're not going to get us on idealism, but we're not fools. Like I said, we don't want to go to jail. We don't want to die. We don't want to live looking over our shoulders. So, if we're boned either way, and this is truly done, and he looks at Rochelle, I think the only way we live free is helping them.
Look, we're both in the same boat in a very similar manner. I joined the Clockwinders solely for personal reasons, selfish reasons. I love learning about the Fey folk, their cultures, their dangers, their magics. I don't understand ether myself, but it's not the ether that pulls me, it's the things that its people do with it. And while I was on this personal, selfish journey, I discovered something greater than myself. And yes, that is certainly a bit of idealism, I understand. But because I've pursued it, I've learned so much more. Seeing people like you that can do what you did with that machine upstairs, it's upsetting to think of losing you.
He looks at you again. He kind of leans in towards you, and he says, I don't know how much plainer of language I can put this in. We are not going to be friends. I don't give a shit about your ideals. You can stop with the fucking flattery. It doesn't matter. But I'm not an idiot. So do you have a job for me and my people that keeps us out of hot water on this?
To be perfectly honest, I don't know. but I can certainly put in my 2 cents.
Okay.
We're going to be friends.
He just sits back against the wall again and stops talking to you.
I will walk out of the cell and close and lock it and just lean back against the wall and wait for Fern.
Yeah, Fern returns shortly thereafter with their medic. You let them back into the cell. She starts tending to the wounded. Upstairs, Kade is hard at work on the repairs to the movement core. Maxine, what are you doing?
Well, Cade's kind of in his element right now, and so I think I'm going to use this time to get out into the town and use those merchant skills that I got from my parents and find out where I can get some information on supplies or contacts or whatever we might need heading to Port Valles and into the Frost Sea.
I have no idea if you'd be interested, but I think that when you're leaving, Kade would be like, "You want Smee?"
Maybe not this time, just because some people might be a little intimidated by such a, and I look at Smee, forceful-looking figure.
Okay, be careful.
You too. Good luck. And I will head out into the city.
All right, so you are looking around for stuff that will aid you in this journey. One of the aspects of Carcadia Freehold is the grand city of markets. So there is no shortage of stuff for sale and people who know things here.
Yeah, I think I'm specifically looking to use my stunt as well. Word around town gives me +2 to a contacts roll to create an advantage to learn useful details about a town. And then I can spend a fate point to squeeze out some more info.
All right, so I'm weighing the difficulty of this back and forth. I don't think finding the information itself is going to be particularly hard, or the items themselves, because that's this place's whole deal, and there's not really any there's a lack of ethics. Nobody's going to be holding that information back from you for worry of consequence or anything. If they can make a buck, they'll give it to you. I think the difficulty is instead from, this is a very rare thing you're trying to do, and so just the availability of that shit is the problem. So go ahead and create an advantage with contacts. I think this is of good difficulty. I think you're just trying to beat a 3.
6.
Okay. So you will get 2 free invokes.
And I think I will spend a fate point to squeeze some more information out.
Okay. So I think we'll call this aspect, if you can't buy it in Carcadia, it doesn't exist. And tell me what this looks like. How do you go about tracking down this information, trying to find stuff for your journey?
I think I am going to different stalls, seeing what people are selling, and then talking to them about their goods, but also where I might go to find something related to what they sell. So I'm never directly haggling with anyone saying if I don't buy this from you, I'm going to go to, your competition. It's always you seem like you're obviously the expert in these goods. You must know where I could find the other thing that's related to this, and kind of working my way around finding out who are people recommending.
All right, so you've got your aspect with 2 free invokes. You spend your fate point for some extra information. I think that what you get is word of a connect in Port Valles, somebody that people think would be your best guide out into the Frost Sea. It is a captain named Carver. And I think you hear this name from a handful of people. He seems like he's just generally got a reputation for being the right guy for this, being a kind of fearless, kind of gray captain, somebody who runs those kind of routes anyway. But I think from one of these people you're talking to, you learn something that seems to be kind of a secret, which is that Carver is one of the only people anybody knows who has managed to mount one of those glaciers that the creatures are frozen in and come back with some of its bits.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. That is a very black market good, something that has passed through the walls of the freehold in the past, and that Carver's the one who laid his hands on. So, to resolve the results of this, I think we're going to do another create an advantage. This one's going to be with resources, to represent what you are actually able to attain through this, and you've got your prior advantage to utilize to boost this if you need it. So create an advantage with resources. This one I think is where it gets pretty tough, because you are in need of some very good shit. to do a very unheard of thing. So if this represents those resources, it's got to be hard to pull off.
Okay.
Oh, I'm so torn on what's too hard and what's not hard enough. This is a thing that, like, nobody's done, and that almost makes me think it should be the top of the difficulty track. Legendary might be a shade too far, though. A +8 might be a little bit too far. Maybe a 7? I think you're trying to beat a 7. I think this is of epic difficulty.
We already beat 7. He's...
Oh, okay. Well, then you get it. You get all the stuff.
Okay, I rolled a 4.
Okay.
I will use an invoke from, if you can't buy it in Carcadia, it doesn't exist.
Okay. That'll get you to a 6.
Boy, I think I'm going to spend my last 2 fate points on this.
Okay. What are you invoking?
I think I'm going to go with Perspicacious. Just having an insight into what we're going to need. I've done the research on the train, and I've got kind of my inventory checklist of knowing the things that'll be important.
Okay.
And I'm going to go with the truth is worth the risk. Like, this is not something people have done before, and for a good reason. And so doing the work, asking the questions that nobody asks to get what we need and find out the answers, it's got to be done.
All right. That will get you to a success with style. So you'll get 2 free invokes. Let's call this aspect equipped for the Frost Sea.
Great.
So Maxine gets you all geared up. Einon keeps an eye on your captives. Kade, I imagine this takes you working through the night to get back to a safe operational level while keeping one of these siphons. So mid-morning the following day, you reach a point where you are comfortable in the status of the movement core.
All right, I want to test the tap.
Yeah, you succeeded at your role, so help me paint this picture. What exactly does this look like?
Yeah, what kind of bottle were you envisioning?
I don't know. I've got maybe a vial, maybe a flask.
Uh-huh.
I kind of like vial. For some reason, I like the image of this being like the, I'm trying to think of how to say this. Like bottles and vials, because they're like bigger at the bottom, they're kind of their own thing. Whereas vials, I can see just being in like a bandolier, like a fucking unit of vials.
Yeah.
And I like that visual for this.
Okay.
Where it's just like, this is a component.
And what's its state when bottled?
Yeah, we've talked about this a little. It's like plasmid.
Yeah, okay.
You know, it's somewhere between a solid and a gas in there.
So I think that it is very much unlocking a mechanism, putting a vial in, closing the mechanism, pushing a button. Like, it is not pull a tap and fill this thing because it could spill out. Like, it is very much this has to be put in, locked in place.
And it's just like calibrated to do the right amount
Yes.
into this container.
Yeah.
I love that. All right, yeah. So ether hisses into this vial and it like caps itself off. You are able to safely remove it. You can see it shimmering green inside, somewhere between, I think I said between gas and solid. I meant between gas and liquid. But yeah, just this sort of plasma roiling in there. So what are you doing now that you have this? You heading back to Roland?
Yeah, and I think at some point in the evening, I would have asked somebody to like go tell him we aren't going to be there for dinner because
Okay.
we were like, we'll be back for dinner. Well, okay, maybe brunch.
Okay.
But yeah, I gather everybody up. I think that I think it's working. We can go talk to Roland now.
Yes. Well done, by the way. My goodness. Like, I wasn't expecting, I suppose, it to be working so soon?
Well, really, it was just actually keeping one of the things they'd already done and just integrating it a little more cleanly and removing the other ones.
Yes, it looks much more organized now at the very least. And aside from the tap, it's all working like it normally would.
Can I get a sense of that? Can I try to see, like, I've done all of these kind of post-mortems on the cores to see if they seem to be doing whatever it is they're supposed to do. Do I get that feeling?
Yeah, I think still riding the success of the repair roll here, you know that this worked appropriately. I think that you know that, like, while siphoning ether, like, while the tap's open, it's not quite doing its job.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's like in a parts per million type measurement. And while the tap's closed, it's doing its job.
Okay. And before I was tracking the ether cores that Kade had a chance to really inspect in a detailed way. And I think I was keeping that tally because it was how you were going to knock points off of the roll that I had to make to learn what they had done before.
It was either that or locating one of the, like, lost ones.
Sure. Either way,
Not really relevant.
Roland has, yes, lended his aid, so I'll still keep track of him, but
Okay.
who knows?
All right, so you all head back to roll into the Magnificence Palace and are greeted, as usual, pretty neutrally by the guards themselves. They recognize you. They allow you in.
Please keep an eye on this rhino.
There's no way Roland's not going to want to see that.
One of those guards like reaches out to pet Tonguey Biter, who loves it, and you can see there's like an immediate connection and rapport between these two.
Wait, what? How did you do that without losing your hand?
He just kind of like looks at you like like he's not really, there's not lights on inside, but another guard just escorts you in before he can answer you.
What the fuck just happened?
He's so good. Was that man Pot Rhino? I'm so baffled.
His brother.
I had to roll so high.
Some people are better than you. You're not always going to be the best, okay? Just because you're the protagonist. Don't you forget that. Let this be a reminder. That beautiful elven idiot just has a stronger bond with rhinos than you do. So you guys head inside. You find Roland lounging again in the parlor room. This time, he doesn't have the doors closed and locked for privacy this time. He is laying on that, I forgot the name of it. What's the lounging?
Chaise?
The chaise. He's laying on the chaise.
Yeah.
Wearing his silks and velvets and, exposing the ether tattoos on his chest. And as he sees the guards escort you in, his face lights up with a smile. He almost spills his glass of wine as he sits upright. And he again just calls out, "Treats! Snacks! Bring them now!"
Oh, I thought you were referring to us.
Oh, he winks. But he gestures for you all to come in and sit down and get comfortable. What happened? Tell me everything. I've heard little whispers about town of what you've managed to accomplish, but please, I want to hear the first-hand account.
Well, you see, first we had to get a rhino up the stairs. And then after that, it was just getting him along the wall. And then...
Stop.
Oh, okay.
I need to settle in. He rearranges his pillows behind his back. He leans back and splays out and gets visibly hugely relaxed. And he lets out this sigh and he goes, "Okay, I need to let this story wash over me. Continue." Go on. We were at a rhino going up the stairs and walking along the top of the wall. Oh.
Well, I wasn't actually there for that part, so... I mean, in theory, it went well, right, Einon?
Yes, it went well. The rhinoceros walked along the wall.
He's got his eyes closed, but as you pause, he opens one eye, looking at you, waiting for more.
And then, once I approached the tower, we charged and broke through the door, knocking one of the Clockgrinders asunder, startling another. And then other things happened downstairs.
Yeah, down below, I picked the lock because they had locked it, and I found that there was a hidden mechanism that was a trap door, so that if you popped the lock and stepped in, you'd fall.
They really like trapdoors.
They really do.
Yeah.
And as we stepped in, this older guy and his daughter, I think, turned and looked at us, and then their leader fell on his face from above. It looked bad.
Then they all went in the trapdoor.
Yeah.
And then we fixed the movement core. Oh, and then I went shopping.
And I produced this. And I'll hold out the little vial.
He sits up again. He reaches out to take that vial from you. And he kind of looks around at all of you and goes, "I feel that we need to work on your presentation. There were sort of awkward peaks and valleys in that story, and there's a lot of meat on the bone, but kind of a lackluster conclusion. But this is fabulous."
But don't worry, they'll fix it in post.
He looks at the vial. He's kind of like turning it over in his hands, holding up to the light, looking at it. "Well, this looks every bit as strong as what the Clockgrinders were managing to siphon."
Yeah, I actually used some of the mechanism that they had on there, just removed a couple of them, and then reinforced the actual movement core around that device.
I meant to speak on this a bit. It's reasonable to say that a fair level of expertise was used to build that mechanism in the first place, right?
Yeah.
We're simply not sure what to do with these Clockgrinders, but I think that reason has won out, that they understand that the dynamic has shifted and they are no longer in control. I think it might be reasonable to pitch their failure as an opportunity to still be the ones to assist in maintaining it while they're here, under, of course, your scrutiny as well as the Jane's and so on, however you work out this deal when you approach them.
As you are talking, they roll in a cart with desserts and juices and bottles on it. And you see him while he's kind of like turning that vial over in his hand. He clutches it in his fist, and you see him like squeeze and crush it. And he starts to trace gestures in the air, and you see an illusory duplicate of that cart just kind of appear. You can see that like the ether from the vial is trickling off his fingertips. It is kind of congealing into that illusion in front of you. It's like he's just basically testing the quality of this ether that you have distilled out. And, just for a moment, he kind of maintains that illusion and interacts with it a little bit, and then he like waves his fingers and lets it dissipate. I don't know. They were so zealous. They were so headstrong and cocksure. I'm not sure that I trust them remaining a part of the operation.
Why did they, I turned to Einon, do what they did in the first place?
From what I can tell, something that I understand completely, an utter disdain and disillusionment from the Clockwinders.
And he's not disillusioned anymore? Or?
Oh, no. That is still very much the case, but when given the choice of imprisonment, banishment, and certainly not that it's on the table from us, but execution, he would rather work for the new power structure than work against it.
Oh.
He's very practical, as far as I could tell.
Doesn't that also put them in a prime position to try and take back over, though?
Yes, but of course, if we're working together with these organizations, if the Janes understand the situation, Roland here, of course, is the primary mover, and with constant check-ins from the proper Clockwinders, I think it would be much easier to keep them in check.
Through a mouthful of cinnamon roll, Roland chimes in. But if we let them stay on and the Janes still have their fingers in this pie, then I don't know that anyone's being properly made an example of. I think that if we're too merciful and we leave them on, they could have their machinations, the Janes could have their machinations could align, and they could all try to make a ploy to take this back and set things back to the status quo.
Yeah, I'll be honest, that's my concern, is that if they're willing to work for us, even though they hate what we stand for, that means they'll work for anybody who can get power, and maybe hoping to get someone that they don't hate.
Exactly. Hell, even if they were loyal to the almighty dollar, I'd feel better about that, because at least we'd know, well, as long as we're paying the most, we've got them, but they've still got their ideals, and their ideals that don't align with ours. They'll stay with us as long as it suits them, but they don't want to, and we'll always have to worry about when they decide it's not worth it.
Then make me responsible.
I don't know how to do that. I don't know a lot about you yet. Would you consider yourself an irresponsible person?
No.
Yeah, you gotta stay with us. You can't stay here.
No, of course, but as we discussed, the Clockwinders checking in, maintaining, making sure that everything is working the way it should, will become a frequent part of this deal. Again, not controlling your distribution or anything like that, just maintaining everything working the way it should. And the moment that it becomes obvious that these people are working in a way that is not aligned with our new situation, I'm the one that can be held accountable.
But how do you imagine that helps? How does that prevent them from becoming a fly in our ointment? I'm not worried about who takes the punishment for their misbehavior. It can be them. That's just fine. It doesn't need to be you. But I don't want them to misbehave in the first place, and I don't have to worry about it.
To be honest, I'm going entirely on a bit of faith.
He does like a face.
I have faith in a practical man. These two here, for very different reasons, have extremely specific practicalities. And I saw that in this 7 more than almost anyone I've ever met. I truly believe that a constant check-in, that a deal that he understands and can work with, will keep him moving. I mean, think about it. The reason he left the Clockwinders and did what he did was because he knew there was no accountability and nothing to do but profit. He's an opportunist, yes, but he isn't inherently a bad person. He only wanted to trap people and discard them when they got too close. They're not murderers. They largely aren't even doing anything that most of you don't already know about. He was literally wearing his idea on his sleeve.
This is Roland's link to his home world. I appreciate you got faith in this guy, but he's already shown disloyalty once in a big way. I don't feel comfortable making the call of letting the guy who's shown disloyalty be in charge of the key to Roland's home.
Also, the fact that their ideals are born from a distrust of what we're trying to do, practicality can only override so much when you truly don't believe in the thing you're being asked to do anymore.
Or hate it.
I disagree that he has a disdain for what we're trying to do. From what he spoke to me, he showed disdain for the organization not doing anything.
That's kind of what I mean. Like, of course, we know that we are bringing back what the Clockgrinders were originally for, even though now we know that that was for a goal that isn't necessarily what we want to end up with finally. But the fact is, regardless of what we're trying to do, it's hard enough to convince everyday people that the Clockgrinders are back to their original glory, let alone somebody whose image of us has completely been tainted.
I suppose I can't disagree. When given the choice of being set upon as opposed to being able to look after his own, I believe that he'll look after his own. But I can't even pretend to understand the full machinations of this city, the people that lead its various sectors. So I can't set any ultimatum for you and say this is how it's going to be. I can only give my recommendation, and I have.
I think it's a fair point, Einon. I think there's also a lot of politics in the city that we don't and can't possibly understand. I look at Roland. I think having the conversations that you need to have will maybe make a lot of this clearer when we understand what the Janes or anyone else that you're bringing into this will think of this new compromise.
He sighs, just a big dramatic sigh. Yes, I suppose I should get the ear of the Janes and feel it out, see whether it seems like there'll be a hindrance or a boon in getting the Janes on board.
Before I forget, can I get the recipe for these cinnamon rolls? The vanilla in it is so good, it really brings out the flavor of the ads.
Cut to the baker sitting there with a notebook sitting next to Maxine going over the recipe and explaining it all. Well, I suppose if we're not making an absolute decision on what to do with them in advance, you all don't need to necessarily hang around and wait for the results of my conversation with the Janes. It seems like you need to get moving, yes?
Yes, time is important.
And remind me what your next move is.
Well, we're looking to get a boat from here over to Port Valles. I did get the name of somebody in town there that we can meet with who has some experience with the Frost Sea.
We're going to try to find one of the ones you helped me indicate on the map.
Well, if nothing else, I can assure you passage from here to Port Valles, no problem.
Oh, that would be wonderful.
I'm hopeful that I'll be able to track down an escort for you when it's time to move to the Cloudgate Mountains as well, but he's currently away, so unfortunately I can't send him with you on this first leg of your journey.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great.
Maybe we'll plan on returning here after we're done Nightside, and then from down here we can head up toward Cloudgate.
That sounds marvelous. I'll go ahead and send word down to the docks to have your, not farrier, that's the person who does like horseshoes and shit. Who operates a ferry?
Ferryman.
What do we call them? Is it a ferryman? The ferryman? Hold on, let me start over.
He covers his face.
Everyone pretend that one didn't happen.
Turn around.
Back to one. And action. I'll send word to the docks and have your ferryman prepare your vessel.
Can I ask you a question real quick about the whole, I watched you cut your hand, I cut mine, our lives are now intertwined in this.
As you start to say that, like his face gets pretty serious and he gives you like the high sign. And then he stands up and he goes and he closes the doors to the parlor again.
Oh, sorry.
Let's keep that a little bit more on the down low.
Oh, okay.
Go on.
You said that now our lives are... If something happens to me and I die out there, are you going to die? Like, in what way are our lives linked to this adventure together?
Or does this mean if he gets hurt, he can't die because you're still alive?
Oh, that'd be great.
If you close your eyes,
Yeah.
Can you see what he's seeing?
I try.
You don't.
I look at Roland. Can you feel this? And I'll punch Kade in the arm.
Yeah.
Roland goes, ow. No, I'm just messing with you. He looks at you like kind of gravely, more so than you've seen from him thus far. The nature of blood magic is, well, for lack of a better word, idealistic. It's hard to say what precisely the results will be if you were to perish on your journey, or if I were to perish here while you were gone. We've made this pact with an objective in mind, and in a sense the magic knows that. So it may keep you alive if you were to perish in pursuit of our objective. It may kill me if I were not in pursuit of our objective. In a way, the ether has a mind of its own, and it will read us if it comes to it, and it will make a decision all its own. But whatever that decision is, we are in it together.
And it'll be in pursuit of our shared goal.
Quite.
Okay.
I look at Kade and I just mouth, blood magic?
Well then, I take out the ring of all of their keys and set it on the table. Keys to that tower. There's a particular notch on the outside wall. There's a particular notch on the inside of the city wall about a quarter of the way down. That is where their cell is at the moment. I would appreciate if you didn't let them starve to death while we're gone.
Oh, good heavens, no. No, I'll have to move them post-haste. I have to imagine that if they're in bed with the Janes, then the Janes would know where to go looking for them.
Oh, that's certainly fair.
He throws open the parlor doors and snaps his fingers and relays some instructions to some of his guards, who you see head out of the building.
If you'd like, the guard that was outside, the one on the left side of the door, well, the left, if I'm looking at it, the right side of the door, if while we're gone, if he would like to use Tonguey, they seem to have a connection. I would certainly be amenable to that soldier having a mount.
Oh, you mean Rhino Dave?
I knew it! I knew it! Amazing.
Yes, he's pot rhinoceros.
I learn more about you, Fey folk, every day.
No, he's not Fae.
Okay, so you're leaving Tonguey Biter in the charge of one of these guards.
Rhino Dave.
Rhino Dave, yeah.
Is he related to Rad Dave in any way?
Oh, fuck, I've used Dave twice. No.
It's the Daves.
Yeah.
Yeah, now Dave.
Is a surname.
Yeah, it's a surname.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Mr. Dave was my father. Call me Rhino.
This is my cousin Rad.
This is my cousin Rad. What of the train while you are gone?
Fuck. That's right.
Yep.
The tracks are on the other side of the city.
Because we originally were going to try to send it on, but if we plan to come back here anyway...
That's true. We can't take it up the mountain, so
Yeah.
it might as well stay here.
So I might just ask Roland if he can post a guard on it.
Okay. What of Ravi and Apple Sticky Hands?
Why don't we give them the choice? Like, do you want to stay here and wait for us to get back after we do a couple of things and stay on with us? Or do you want to catch up with your buds and be the guards for the crisscrossing Clockwinder teams?
Or do you want to go on the high seas?
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, let's take a rhino.
On a ship.
Taking a rhino to the South Pole.
This is our ship Rhino. He helps with the rats. He's just goring holes in the side of the ship, trying to get the rats.
Well, he got the rats.
His horn just looks like a shish kebab.
Oh, God. Rat plank.
This is our ship Rhino. He helps with the rats. And this is our hole fixing guy. He follows the rhino
He helps
around.
with the rhino.
Other than setting that up, I guess we'll have that conversation with him. I also want to make another stop with Trundle before we leave as well.
Okay, is this just Einon, or is like the whole squad going to visit Trundle?
I would actually ask them to come along.
Okay.
Okay, you guys make your way to Trundle's Grundles.
Hello again, my boy. I'm sorry about the quick exit in the middle of our reunion earlier.
Hey, welcome back. Oh, I'm glad that it seems like you're in one piece. What happened?
Yes, well, it has been quite an interesting day or so. All's well so far, so thank you again for the heads up. We're all fine. We are, in fact, actually about to head out of town, and I realize, and I'm sorry to ask it, I never actually called in that favor.
Oh, man, you don't think giving you a bunch of information and saving your people's hides and everything was good enough, huh?
No, it really seemed like you couldn't wait to tell me about all of that, so
Oh.
If anything, it was a favor for you, and I think now you owe me 2.
Yeah, well, what can I say? I guess, I just would consider you a friend and have your best interest at heart. But yeah, sure. Let's make this sort of transactional. What do you want?
Out of fairness, what I am about to ask speaks on that. This is me helping you stay safe and alive as well.
Oh.
All I would ask is that, frankly, I would like my engineer friends here to look around and any pieces of scrap, any tools, anything that you don't use as much that they think we might be able to use in the fixing of a movement core that you might lend to our aid. We're going somewhere that we are not entirely certain of the landscape of what the cores might look like, and having extra tools on hand would benefit.
Trying to think of how to resolve this. Because he just owes you the favor.
Uh-huh.
Like they'll do a thing for you.
What if, the allowing of the taking of things is the favor, but, like, we have to, investigate or something to find pieces that are useful, like that we could have turn into advantages, if at all possible?
The favor's just giving us the narrative positioning to have access to things.
Yeah.
If that feels fair to you, I'm fine with it. To me, it feels kind of like slighting you on what you should get out of this. But
Seems good to me, because if it just becomes anonymous parts once we go out into the world.
All right, so we'll create an advantage. I think the difficulty then is just like nothing, because he just says, yeah, here you go, carte blanche, take whatever you want. My first thought would be to call it a resources role still, since it is about materials, as opposed to like an investigate or anything like that. Does anybody have thoughts on that? An argument in a different direction?
No, that's what I would think as well.
Yeah, I feel like it's an even split, either resources or, again, like, I brought them because I feel like they would know what to look for. So whether that's resources or investigation to hunt something out of old crates and boxes that even he didn't know is useful. So either way to me.
Yeah, like, we've got a couple movement cores under our belts now, and while they're different, I think many of the parts are similar. That you need this. You don't know what size it's going to be. You need this. So whatever kind of tracking down those specific parts that we know we've used in the past would be, if that's a resources.
Yeah, I mean, broadly speaking, resources tends to deal with you having the stuff on hand or the money on hand to get the stuff or whatever.
Sure.
So let's say create an advantage with resources. You're trying to beat a 0. I don't care who rolls it. We could do this as a group action if multiple people have some points and resources.
I do not.
Same.
I do.
Okay.
Hey.
3.
Okay, that will get you 2 free invokes on this. What do we call it? So it's movement core specific stuff. It is similarly it's like equipped for the Frost Sea, like you are equipped with this shit now.
Fixing fixins.
I love it. Fixing fixins with 2 free invokes.
Sweet.
All right, you get your fixin' fixins. What are we doing with Ravi? Final call.
I say he just stays and guards the train. He knows this area. He's going to be able to defend it. We're leaving it here anyway. Might as well be somebody we know.
I like it. Yeah, that way we got one of our guys, one of Roland's guys.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
It's a 2-man job.
We'll breed a healthy distrust, but maybe it turns into like a begrudging respect and then a deep friendship.
Then lovers.
Then lovers.
Then enemies again.
Then fighters. Any final bits and bobs I'm not thinking of before we get you on a boat?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean, we got the map, we got parts, we got tools, we got cold weather gear. What more could you need?
All right. Roland the Magnificent sends you all down to the docks to meet your charter ferryman, Captain Finian, who is an elven captain who greets you as you board a pretty humble little vessel. There is room for all of you and not much more. He explains to you that this is just sort of like a little coastal ship. It'll get you from port A to port B, but he gets you all settled, untethers you, gets the sails down, and gets you all moving along the coast towards Port Valles. And that is where we will leave off this time.
Hey.
So thank you everyone for joining us for another episode of the Crit Show. If you want to check out more about Fate as a system or the Clockgrinders as a scenario, you can find that information in the episode description. You should also check out our Patreon, patreon.com/thecritshow. So many good things to feast your ears on and eyes on. Feast your earballs on all kinds of good materials.
Your earballs.
And tune in next time for more cross-coastal adventures of the Clockwinders. Everybody say bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
The Crit Show is a Critshow Studios production, edited and produced by Brandon Wentz, with music by Jake Purley. You can find more information about us at thecritshowpodcast.com. To keep up to date with upcoming live shows, contests, and other special events, follow us at The Crit Show on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. For even more weekly content, join us at patreon.com/thecritShow.